assume Saliba, Saka, Gabriel Magalhaes. If you, not that you watch me, but I'm sorry for forgetting you. Stay here. If they sign big money on 200 grand a week, you've got Kai Havertz, you've got Jesus. Again, for the example, you get Isaac, who's going to be on 200 odd grand. Nico Williams is going to be on 200 odd grand. If you get Zubamendi, he's probably going to give or take be on 100 odd K. You still got to give Nwaneri and Ethan new deals. So our overheads are getting more and whatnot, people. And that's excluding anyone else that gets brought into the club or needs renewals. My hot take is, I know we're not under any pressure in terms to renew his deal at the moment, but I'll be surprised if less so. I think Declan Rice, but less so much Declan Rice and more so Juri and Timber. I'll be surprised if Timber doesn't sign improved terms within the next year as well. Now, for obvious reasons, the three big boys, Nwaneri, Lewis Skelly, incomings. I'm sure Martinelli, what we're doing with Zinchenko and Trossard are probably more pressing matters for Arsenal Football Club. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what's happening in that regard. So that's that. You look at when Nwaneri's turned 18 and he holds bare records, man. Most Arsenal goals before turning 18. Bro, he's up there with 8. Look at him, man. Like, anytime you're going to be with these Arsenal legends, you're doing something well, man. And it feels like just the other day, we saw you make your debut against Brentford, and to see you more confident. Big up Hale End and big up yourself, man. Like, big him up, man. He firmly is living the dream. He firmly is living the dream. And if there's ever been a low point for me with Nwaneri, it ironically was when he got injured against Brighton. That little period, like, he was really starting. He still is, obviously, but he's really starting to smash the like button. Is what you lot need to do. He's really starting to show his quality. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Apparently, only Michael Owen and Wayne Rooney have scored the most competitive goals for a Premier League club before turning 18. Now, he's got a long way to go before he can be mentioned in the same realm as Michael Owen. I think Michael Owen's a bit of an idiot off the field, so people forget how much of a bully he was. Wayne Rooney's a legend, but they both are. You got a long way to go before you're mentioning them kind of realms there. But at 17, 18 years of age, if you're getting some statistics near these guys, you're doing all right, man. Look at their names there. But, I mean, I feel like this name rings a bell, you know. 29, maybe a bit before my time, but let's see. You ring a bell. You've definitely, where have you been? Leeds. That's why you ring a bell, man. That's why you ring a bell. That's where you ring a bell. Definitely before my time, Danny Kadamati. You know me, I can't cap. How old are you? 45. Fair enough. Big up yourself, man. But man, don't remember your thing, but yeah, the Wayne Rooney's, the Cesc Fabregas's, the James Milner's, the Wayne Rooney's, the Michael Owens. What a goal it was. Yeah, he's a good goal against Piet. That was a good finish as well. It's not going to be in the highlights, but the way he struck the ball, he's a very good striker of a ball, man. Youngest scorers of a Champions League knockout stage goal. He's up there with Brojan, Bellingham, Musiala, Mbappe. Nwaneri is also there, so you're doing all right. Big up Brojan, but you more want him to follow the trajectories of Mbappe, Musiala, and Bellingham than Brojan. Yeah, ended up at Stoke, isn't it? Really, you never know. Now, I'm sure you've all seen it already. Calafiori doing the stanky leg. Is it the boots, people? Seriously, is it the boots? Because I remember a similar little thing like this when he was playing for Arsenal. Is it the boots? Because you keep slipping off the ball. I got time for Calafiori, but I'm nervous, man. Whenever you're going off and playing for these teams, well, playing for Italy, Calafiori, I'm nervous, man. Please don't have a long-term injury, man. But yeah, that don't look good, especially for me, generally, people. And let's pause this. Generally, I feel, and no two injuries are the same, but I feel whenever a player gets injured off the ball and it's not really contact, beyond the obvious, like if someone gets a broken leg, I am a bit more scared, if I'm completely honest, when it happens off the ball, like in Calafiori's case. So let's see what's going on. Arsenal face nervous weight over Ricardo Calafiori injury as shock during Timber absence explained. Calafiori is set for tests on Friday to determine the severity of a knee issue suffered while playing for Italy. Arsenal face an anxious wait to learn the extent of a knee injury suffered by Calafiori on Italy duty, while fellow Gunners defender Timber was a surprise absentee from the Netherlands squad to face Spain. Timber is considered a regular for his country when fit and will have been expected to play in Thursday night's quarter-final first leg tie at the De Kuip in Rotterdam. Forgive me. Timber was a shock admission when Ronald Koeman's team for the heavyweight last 8 fixture was named, with Virgil van Dijk joined in defense by Brighton's Joan-Paul Van Hecke. Do you know what? Yeah, I've said this before. You see this Van Hecke done, with the greatest of respect to Brighton. I'm surprised you're not playing for a traditional top 6 Premier League team. I think he's really slept on. Hatto obviously played. Hatto had a stinker, but he's 19. I'm having Hatto. We'd have to take time, but he's got 100 appearances for Ajax, Obviously, he's captained them. Been playing as a left back this season more so than centre half. Bring him, man. Bring him. Apparently, Arsenal fans will be relieved to discover that his absence from the squad was not injury related on a night when Calafiori was hurt playing for Italy in their own Nations League quarter-final opener against Germany and Milan. Explaining Timber's omission against Spain, the official Netherlands team account wrote on the social media platform, Timber is not available to play tonight due to illness. Now, I do think in football, when I hear teams say illness, that just seems like you're not really injured. There might be a bit of, fatigue in the legs or you might have picked a minor knock-up. He could have diarrhea, which I hope it's diarrhea, nothing serious, really. Timber, we need you, mate. I don't know who I'd give player of the season to. I think if I had to rank them, I'd still, in no order, I would say Lewis Skelly, Timber, and Gabriel Magalhaes. I think Partey be in the top 5. So yeah, man, Timber, we definitely we got Real. Well, we need to be thinking about Fulham, but where we got Fulham in no order: Fulham, 2-legged tie against Real Madrid, Brentford to come, Bournemouth to come, Anfield, like whatever there is to play or not play for the season. Our squad is down to its bare bones, so we need to wrap people up in cotton wool, and it's a bit annoying in that we're hearing Saka could be back, whether we want him to or believe that's the right thing. Martinelli's come back, couple more men are injured. I just hope Berta. I say Berta because you're not involved, but Berta, I hope you preach the need to have squad depth, man. So I have to see, man. Obviously, he could play on Sunday against Spain in Valencia. We'll have to see, really, really and truly. Nico Williams also scored for Spain, people. Arsenal will be much more concerned about Calafiori, who was forced off late for Italy after suffering an injury during a painful-looking slip in the 2-1 loss to Germany when he quickly attempted to change direction and saw his left knee buckle underneath. You get studs, not molds, man. And it was in the 92nd minute. That's our luck. Like, the game's played, and now you pick up a knock. It's jarring, man. He's expected to undergo tests on Friday to determine the extent of the issue, per Fabrizio Romano, after being seen limping on his exit from the San Siro and replying, I still don't know, when asked by reporters how his knee was doing. Quizzed on Calafiori's injury in his post-match press conference, the Italy coach Luciano Spalletti, whose side contest the second leg in Dortmund on Sunday, we don't know yet. He said his knee feels strange, but cannot answer more precisely than that. So we'll have to see. Unfortunately, his stud slipped as he went to cut out a pass. Arsenal's early exit from this season's FA Cup means they are not involved in a quarter-final weekend immediately following the current international break and don't play until the 1st against Fulham. So that could be a blessing. But if Arsenal are to be in the realm that I'm sure myself and you lot want in that, we're definitely not 12, 13, 14, 15 points off Liverpool in every Premier League game, even with the fixtures to come are all to play for. We definitely hope to still be in the FA Cup. We definitely would have hoped to have been in that final against Liverpool or Newcastle on Sunday and won that, and the Champions League. We need a bigger squad. Like this season, last season, you could say it. The season before, we only had Saliba's injury, but that was significant. We need upgrades to our starting 11, and we need greater depth. And maybe there's something with the recruitment, because we seem to pick a lot of brittle players, man. We more covered Calafiori's injuries and all of that in the last stream I did earlier this morning, people. So make sure you check that out after this. So yeah, man. He said, I don't know, guys. I don't know, when asked. There are unofficial concerns that the Arsenal defender may have damaged his knee during the incident at the end of Germany's loss. And even going into next season, not Timber. Tomiyasu's out until December. Gabriel Jesus the same. They could be back before, they could be back after. Kai Havertz is already going to start next season on the back foot. We hope it's a bit more positive, but he'll be back for the start of next season, but he's nursing a hamstring knot. So already, without talking about who's staying and who's going and whatever, already we need to be thinking about next season as well. There are unofficial concerns that he may have suffered an injury, which isn't good. Hopefully the tests are all right. The extent of the damage is set to become more clear in the next few hours when Calafiori goes in for medical tests with the Italian national team. The former Bologna centre-back has not left the Italian national team setup and will be seen by national team doctors initially rather than those from his domestic club. Mikel Arteta, Kroenke, whoever, fly our doctors out to Italy. I'm sure they will collab with their Italian counterparts, but we need to be getting our own information, if I'm completely honest with you. I don't know if this physio scout guy is right or wrong, but it could be interesting. Calafiori had to hobble off late in the second half with a knee injury. Body weight over the left knee, stressing the medial side of the knee brings concern for an MCL injury mainly. There are some concerns for just a contusion/bone bruise injury, and there's an extremely small chance it's an ACL injury, which he's had before. but will still need to be cleared. Potential recovery times: if it's a bone bruise slash contusion, it's less than a week. If it's an MCL grade 1, it's 1 to 3 weeks. If it's an MCL grade 2, it's 3 to 6 weeks. So it don't look good. He got up and tried to play on, but was unable to after a short while. Scans will be necessary to determine the extent of the injury. So we'll have to see in that regard. So everybody is saying the same thing where that is concerned. Boy, we'll be sweating over that indeed. Apparently, people, it was just a week before Saka injured his hamstring in December that Mikel Arteta floated the idea of moving the winger into a more central position. Okay, that's great. I think that will depend a lot on the qualities and the players who are around him. For someone to be inside instead of outside, someone has to be outside, and that player, that fullback, that attacking midfielder, and number 9 has to allow that space. But I'm certainly very open to evolving players. Sometimes it's the role, sometimes it's the position on the pitch, and sometimes there are other things we can do so that he can spend more time in this position. Because when the ball is far from the opposition side, we choose where we want him, but we're certainly thinking about these things. That's great, but what does that mean for Saka's potential return against Fulham or Real Madrid? Where is the things that matter? This is great. Big up Nwaneri. We know Saka's versatile. We know he can play on the left-hand side. We know we've seen him play in the 8. What does this mean? This ain't saying nothing, man. Like, you're just chatting nonsense. Now, Nico Williams is always linked with Arsenal Football Club on the best of days. Apparently, CF Bayern and Sky Sports Germany is saying it's not true that Bayern are in the lead for Nico Williams. I think at the moment, Williams is closer to a move to Arsenal than Bayern Munich. Now, where you look at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Arsenal Football Club, and half of the teams linked with Nico Williams, everybody's looking for wingers. And you look at Bayern Munich, the only winger I would say as a non-Bayern fan that there's confirmation over his future is Elise. He's doing bloody well. They're trying to move on Gnabry. They're trying to get rid of Kingsley Coleman. We have been linked with Sane on a free transfer as well. So, yeah. I mean, if Nico Williams is the one, go and get it done, man. Arsenal are understood to be ahead of Bayern Munich in the race to sign Nico Williams this summer. What does that mean, though? Because are we the head of Bayern Munich, but someone's ahead of us? Does he want to stay at Bilbao for one more year? Does he want to stay at Bilbao because he believes that? Or Barca saying they're going to get him not this summer, but next summer? It's a World Cup year heading into next season. Does he want to stay because of that? Does he want to try Germany? Does he want to kind of join the Spanish revolution at Arsenal? Who knows? Until people are holding shirts and they grew up watching Omri and Bergkamp and Perez and the rest of it, who knows, people? But we're understood to be ahead of Bayern. The Gunners are in need of a refresh in their offensive line in light of the 2024-25 campaign, characterized by injuries and a golfing goals between Mikel Arteta's men and Liverpool. The North London-based outfit finds itself in second place in the Premier League, 12 points behind the Reds and 16 goals short, with 53 of their competitors 69. Obviously, Mo Salah and whatnot, and we've had Saka injured, but it's irrelevant. We've also missed Kai. Kai would have probably got some goals as well. We need a striker. We need a left winger. We need quality additions to our starting 11. We need more bodies. Mikel Arteta for the last 2 years actually has said we've got one of the smallest squads. I'm past the point of blaming Edu, Mikel Arteta, Kroenkes, Berta, Jason Ito, this one, that one. You're all in it together. Sort it out, innit? Because I feel like we keep talking about the same things season in, season out. It's getting boring, man. To that end, an upgrade in the form of long-term target Nico Williams appears more plausible in the next transfer window. Arsenal may very well find themselves competing with Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich for Williams' signature this summer. The good news, however, as far as the Emirates Stadium dwelling side is concerned, is that they have a head start over their European rivals. I mean, Sesko and Williams would be on brand. The Bavarian Giants will have to arrange some player sales to facilitate any potential move for the athletic Bilbao winger. It's not true that Bayern Munich are ahead in the race for Nico Williams. I think at the moment, Williams is closer to a move to Arsenal than Bayern, as the Bundesliga club can't be as concrete as they would like as things currently stand. And remember, he's on 200 odd grand a week at Bilbao. If you go to a big club like Bayern Munich, or, you know, Liverpool in theory could be in for him, because I know where you look at Liverpool, yeah, it's obviously going to be dominated by what's happening with Van Dijk, Salah, and obviously, what's the other one? Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then you remove that, whether it's contract nonsense or not, Konate, Diaz, Darwin Núñez, there's all speculation over their futures. You could see Nico Williams playing on the left-hand side. I'm not too sure. So, yeah, he's going to be linked with everyone. But until he's holding a shirt, it is what it is, man. Like, it really is what it is. You're not taking no wage cut as well, which, again, we've got 3 big players that need contract renewals. We're obviously going to bring in some other attackers, or some players, better yet. Nico Williams is on 200 odd grand. It'll be interesting to see what we do with the wages this season, man. And everyone makes mistakes. And I'm not, Kai Havertz is a squad player where we're at, but you've got him on 200 odd grand. If you sign a midfield and a striker, he's not in your starting 11. It's more as a squad guy. Gabriel Jesus, again, if the Gabriel Jesus of the first 6 months never had them injuries and he was our striker, we might not be having certain conversations, but we can only deal with what ifs. He's on big money. It's crazy. And then even if you were to bring in Nico Williams and Isaac/Sesko, more so the case with Isaac, give the renewals, even someone like Partey that some people would like to stay. I don't think the money's going to stretch that much. Williams is still very high on the list at Bayern, but Max L, head of sport, has to sell players first. They want to sell Coleman, in brackets linked to Tottenham, Newcastle, and Saudi Arabia. If they can manage to do this, they can take the money and use it to sign Williams. Gnabry is also on the for sale list, but no club is interested at the moment. Damn. So Bayern have to wait and see if they can make a sell for Coleman. He would probably elevate our attack, man, but there's a lot of unpolished edges I feel would need to be fixed in Nico Williams. Apparently he will not join Barcelona unless he's guaranteed a starting role. Are you really going to get a guarantee? I still think you could go Barca. Manchester United are interested in Nico Williams and Rafinha. Now this could all be paper talk. Rafinha's probably gone and become one of the unsellables at Barcelona. Like when you think of Barcelona presently, their match winners are Rafinha and obviously the young Yalmao. He's probably one of their key players, and shout out to him. So it doesn't surprise me that everybody's linked with these guys. Real Madrid are ready to move for Nico Williams if Vinicius opts for a move to Saudi. I don't think he's going to go Saudi Arabia, but it shows you. And yesterday we saw reports that Real Madrid want to get more Spanish players when we was reading the Zubamendi thing. What country is Nico Williams from? Or at least when things go well, what country is he from? This is basically said that Arsenal's summer transfer plans will hinge on Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr., with the Ballon d'Or runner-up a determining factor in the plan. So again, merry-go-round. He goes to Real Madrid. Nico Williams has been linked with he goes to Saudi. Nico Williams has been linked with Real Madrid. So it's creative journalism. Everyone and their nan is going to be interested in half the players us and other clubs are linked with. It would have been nice to get ex-Napoli, now PSG's Caradonna, before PSG got involved, because once they offer them wages, forget about it, people. We're still linked with Cunha. Allegedly, he's been earmarked by Mikel Arteta as an alternative to Nico Williams. But is he a pure winger, or is he someone that can play as a false nine, play as a 10, and play on the left? And obviously, he's been at Atletico Madrid as well. He's been linked with us anyways. We've got Berta in. You can see why these journalists are going to be able to just make baseless claims. I'm not saying it's baseless, but surely that's the reality. New sporting director Andrea Berta has earmarked Cunha, who he worked with at Atletico Madrid, as a viable alternative, I assume, to who? To Nico Williams. We know we've looked at him in January. That was never happening. We all saw him sign a new deal, allegedly with a release clause in the 25-year-old's new contract of 62.5 million. We're not going to pay that. I mean, where you look at, assuming that's true, with Cunha, with the Garcia lad, with Zubamendi, with Nico Williams, with Benjamin Sesko, what's the one thing these five have, based on what we read? They've all got release clauses. Obviously, if they've got a release clause and the player wants to sign, you can activate it. Bob's your uncle, a bit like with Partey. But I think if this is the case, the club are looking at that and saying, yo, they're going to call up Wolves or call up Sociedad or Leipzig or whatever the clubs that these players play for, and say, listen, yo, we know he's got, in Cunha's case, a 62.5 million release clause, or Zubamendi's 50 odd. We know that's what you want. Hear what we're saying. We'll give you 53 if you allow us to stretch it over a bit more longer period of time, because there's a lot to do. For all, as much as they talk about war chest, and I know Arsenal's finances seem to be good, we're not going to do the City thing. I personally think we're going to go for I think we'll try for Isaac, but I think it's more realistic to make our budget stretch. We're going to go get a left back. I don't know who that's going to be. We're going to get Sesko for whatever. We're going to try and get Zubamendi for whatever. And then we're going to try and stretch things. And then obviously you can caveat that with potential outgoings. And to be honest with you, I'll rate Berta very highly if you're able to flog Fabio Vieira if he's not going to be reintegrated. Like Fabio Vieira, Lokonga, these kind of brothers, Kivior, Zini, Trossard. I don't expect you to do everything, but this is what I'm looking for. I'm having Cunha as part of the squad. I just don't think we're doing that. Arsenal have not won the league since 2004. Apparently, this is saying how much Kroenke's have spent. Do you know what? The money has been spent. I think it's Kroenke out for life, because I think if we had an owner that wanted to win stuff like you're seeing with Newcastle, it's great. But I think it's lazy to just keep blaming them. I know they ain't put their own money in, but I don't think they're the reason as to why we've always failed. And of course, I'm being a bit lazy, but we've spent money, bro. Definitely since Mikel Arteta's come in, peas has been spent, bro. I could be wrong. I don't, like what Arteta joined in 2019, so I don't know if it would fall under the 2019 or 2020 season. But look at that. We're spending peas, bro. Now, obviously, there's inflation and the way the market's gone. But yeah, we need to earn a lot more money because we've earned about 654.29 mil through player sales. Now, obviously, a club like Arsenal, or clubs that are going to win, you're going to spend more than you make. But I feel we could do a better job in selling players that are in our first team and being a bit more proactive in that. Sometimes selling players, I go back to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, where their names kind of ringing bells. Like we were Wolves and Everton were onto him. There was 30 million shouts. Then he left for free. Can we get better at that? Can we get better at selling the Hale End targets? Can we get better at selling the cast-offs? Now, whether that's how we put the wages we put them on or whatever, we need to get better at that. So it is what it is. Arsenal's net spend under the Cronkies is 917.21 million. Damn. And we obviously broke our transfer record with Declan Rice. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is our most expensive sell. And then Alexis Sanchez. That swap deal was dead. Cesc Fabregas is still our third most expensive sell. Smith Rowe is up there as well. So again, historically as a club, we ain't been good at selling, in it. At least definitely not in this period. At the obviously early Emirates era or under Wenger, we would always have, we was doing what, to a degree, what people praise Brentford and Brighton and all of these kind of clubs for. We got rid of Anelka, Henry came in. You know, Van Persie came out of nowhere. Adebayor came out of nowhere. Now, the landscape's changed for obvious reasons, but you lot are smart enough to know we need to get back at that. We're still linked with Fiorentina's Moise Kean. Now, it's easy to link Arsenal or any team that's in need for a striker. Like, if one of these lot employed me, bro, I swear I'll get them bare engagements. You could link Liverpool with bare strikers because Darwin Núñez is linked with moves away. United need a forward owing to Højlund's struggles, and it's very interesting the way the media is panning Højlund's doing Højlund doing Ronaldo's celebration against Cristiano Ronaldo versus Luis Skelly's. But they need a striker. Liverpool need a striker. Spurs a bit different, but you can make a case there. Arsenal can make a case. Everyone's going to get linked with the same guys. Now, my point of saying that is to say this. It's easy to link us with Moise Kean. He's having a great season at Fiorentina, a bit like Ruttigi at Atalanta. They're putting the balls in the back of the net for fun. And I guess there's only so many times you can keep telling us Sesko, Isak, etc. You have to freshen things up. How long before we're linked with Ivan Toney and Osimhen? In fact, we've been linked with Osimhen. Check out the video I did yesterday for that. Again, Kean flopped in England, but he went to Fiorentina. He's doing his thing. He's got 15 goals, people, in Serie A, making him the second top goal scorer in Italy. And he's got 20 goals in 34 games in all comps, people. Allegedly, Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspurs, and West Ham United are all interested. And he has a release clause of 52 million euros, which is about, 46, 47, 48, 49 million pounds? I don't know. I don't buy this, if I'm honest with you. But it wouldn't naturally... I'm sure we've scouted him. Like, it's within our remit to watch every striker of various degrees, just like every position in it. So yeah, Ben Jacobs said Arsenal like Isak. He's the dream target, the number one target, but all of us have number one things we'd like in the world and that are very unlikely to happen. Is Isak genuinely available? Berta will get a quick read on that. If he is, he becomes Arsenal's top choice. If he isn't available, I'd be relatively confident in saying Arsenal will make a significant play on Sesko. He's sold on the project. Sesko to Arsenal has a very high percentage chance, but they won't pull the trigger until they know the Isak question. We're not getting Isak. I want to be wrong, but that just tells me, you know what? We're going to see if Isak does want to leave, even though I've said the many reasons as to why I don't think he's going to leave. If there's a chance, we'll go over that. And we know Sesko's probably waiting to hear from a number of clubs, including us. We'll circle back over there. So Isak would be the impossible dream. Sesko's the realistic one. Welcome to Arsenal, Sesko. Such is life. He probably goes somewhere else. We never bid for Isak. And there's probably some striker. Now, speaking for myself, people, we can have concerns about Isak's injury record, which is something I said. We can have concerns about if Sesko's good enough and this one's good enough and that one. And we can still talk about that. But for me, I'm past that now. Just get the player in and we can criticize and praise and have concerns and all of that. What we need is a striker. I don't want to hear about market opportunity, powder dry, all of these things that's been peddled out for the last 2 years. It cannot help us. Marino is up front. Big up to him. He's trying his best. Marino is up front going into the Real Madrid game. Come on. I would still feel kind of the same way I feel against Real Madrid as I feel now. But if we had a striker, if we had a fit Saka, if we had greater depth and we improve certain things tactically, I'd have a lot more optimism, man. But that's that, people. Apparently, Arsenal have made a £58.5 million bid for Bruno Guimaraes, but Newcastle are not interested in selling. The good news is that you've probably got more of a chance of signing Guimaraes than you have for Isak. The bad news is I think everyone doesn't expect us to get Guimaraes. I do think Newcastle are more likely to sell him if push comes to shove, but they've got a great project. Why on God's green earth would you make that happen? It's just not going to happen, innit? And I look at, it's easy for me to say, but you've got to go and get Isaac when he's at Sociedad, or Bruno Gomares. I remember making videos. We was all waffling about Bruno Gomares when he was in Brazil, let alone Lyon. So if we're not going to buy, rightly or wrongly, if we're not going to put 100, 120, whatever have you for Isaac, whatever Gomares would have, you know, whatever Brighton wanted for Caicedo when we was onto him, then we have to try and get these guys that into the next 2 years from the point people are going to be waffling about them. We can't sit on our hands, man. We really need to have a good market. David Ornstein a few days ago said there's currently no understanding that Arsenal would like to sign Gomares. Clearly a player everyone admires, but it doesn't make sense, man. Merino came off the bench in the final 10 minutes and scored a last gasp equalizer for Spain in their 2-2 draw with the Netherlands. Horrible goalkeeping, but he was in the right place at the right time. You just keep scoring, my guy. Just keep putting the ball in the back of the net. Anyone having Bayern Munich's Paulinho? Apparently, he has no intention of leaving Bayern despite a disappointing first season, people. Is there any other updated news? Florian Wirtz would reject a move to Manchester City this summer in favour of Bayern Munich. Come join Arsenal. Mesut Ozil, chat to him, man. It's easy to play at City, man. Can you do the business where you're playing with Kai Havertz and Marino? Can you do it on a cold night at the Emirates? Can you do it on a sunny day? Can you take Odegaard's place? I know we ain't getting Wirtz, but I'd love to be in them kind of conversations, man. You know me, I'm a big fan of Odegaard, but if we were to get that, Odegaard, I'm not saying strip you of the captaincy, but you'd have a fight to play. And with Wirtz, you could play off the left. Bro, Wirtz is lit, man. Real Madrid, I prefer to sell Alaba. Barcelona failed to sign my man, Trent. Nottingham Forest, we have heard, are aiming to win the race to sign Gyökeres and have made contact with the Sporting striker. City are buying another keeper. He used to be at FM1, the kid, Sivley. I can't say his name, but he's rubbish, man. They're going to be in big problems. Long may it continue. I mean, Chelsea recruitment stuff. Not that you'll be watching my live stream, but if you are, I'm jealous. He's better than Raya signing, bro. Manchester United are ready to pay 33.5 million to sign Antoine Semenyo ahead of Chelsea and Spurs. Apparently, Bournemouth want 42 million for the winger. What are we saying here? Would you do that? I'm not going to lie. I know he's not the same position, and regardless of what we do up front, I'm saying we need to ask questions for Mbeumo. He's got a deal until 2026, allegedly with an option of another year. I'm saying bringing in Mbeumo as well, man. A little cheap addition. Arsenal are reportedly joined by Manchester United in the race to sign Juventus' attacking midfielder, Kenan Yildiz. I don't know, man. It seems like Juventus need to raise up funds. It seems like they're linked with Ademola Lookman and Osimhen. Ironically, smash the like button, people. So, come on, man. Smash the like button. Big up the 51 of you who have hit the like button, but a couple of you are violating. So I'm not sure to read this. And this Spanish outlet, I'm not going to even attempt to say their name, but you just saw their Bruno Gomares links. They don't seem the more credible. It's just like they smoke and do magic mushrooms and just make up links. So we'll have to see. And I can't see us. Very talented lad. Probably unlucky that Arda Güler's the golden boy of Turkish football. But 90 million euros, that is a myth, man. I'm more than welcoming him at the club, but myth. But he's linked with Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool have been name dropped there, as you can see. Speaking of Liverpool and Arsenal, allegedly Arsenal are interested in a summer deal for Luis Diaz, with sources telling Team Talk that the Gunners are monitoring the Liverpool forward as a possible summer transfer option. Yeah, right. Yeah, bloody right, man. It'll be interesting because, as we said, Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, don't know what's going on with their futures. I don't think the manager rates Darwin Núñez. He could stay because of people leaving. He could go. Luis Diaz seems to be one that was linked with City, linked with Barca, seems to be one that frustrates Liverpool fans. We need attacking options. And at least it's a new one. I can't see that, man. It's absolute bullshit, if I'm completely honest. 13 goals and 5 assists in 42 games is not exactly amazing, but it's better than anyone on the left-hand side for us. Allegedly, sources have told Team Talk, and again, there is no way of fact-checking this. It's the language. Nobody knows your sources. Your sources could all be capped, but there's no way of finding this. So just to humor you lot, sources have told Team Talk that Arsenal have been impressed with Diaz and are interested in signing the winger from the Premier League rivals Liverpool in the summer transfer window. As Team Talk has previously reported, the Gunners are set for a huge transfer window and are determined to sign multiple forwards and bolster their attacking units. Multiple forwards or two? With the asterisks of there might be a little youngster that comes in and whatnot. As Karma said, smash the like button. Big up the mods and the members, man. We're going to get into it, man. Fabrizio just tweeted about Calafiori. But you see the thing with, we'll get back in, let me find it. But you see the thing with Romano. He's going to tweet, like, if Calafiori joined Arsenal right now, he's going to say, Calafiori signed his deal. Calafiori's gone to the toilet at London Coley. He's just bare engagement, mind games.